That's cool.
This is the book of Job, chapter 4 and 17. It says, shall mortal man be more just than God? Shall a man be more pure than his maker?
And it says what? It says, shall a mortal man be more just than the Most High?
Yeah.
The word, the word mortal comes from the word mortify, which means dead, to make dead. Right? Mortal. That's where you get the word immortal. Okay? Mortal means to make dead. That's why it says, mortify your members is in Colossians. Mortify your members means dead in your flesh, man. You know, become dead to the flesh but alive to the spirit, man. So can mortal man be more just than the Most High? What did it say?
Shall mortal man be more just than the Most High? Shall a man be more pure than his maker?
Can a man be more pure than his maker?
Behold, he put no trust in his servants, and his angels he charged with folly.
Charges his angels with folly, man. Can you imagine that the perfect angels, man, that are in order, that do the Most High's bidding. You know, the executors it says the Most High created spirits for vengeance, man. The Most High created certain spirits to do specific jobs, man.
Imperfection.
Like the sun, the spirit of the sun, the moon. You know, the Most High created certain things to do what it's doing, to last throughout the ages, man. And the Most High charges them with folly, man.
Oh shit. That's
So meaning they go off, man.
That's heavy.
When they go off, man, the Most High checks his own spirits, man, his angels, his ministers, man. With folly. For what folly means madness, man.
Grass.
You know what I mean? But then you got men walking on planet Earth that are being proud. Dust and ashes. That's why it says in Ecclesiasticus, how can dust and ashes be proud, man?
And I don't cut you too, just to add on to what you're saying as well. And that's why the Lord, his mercies are going to be eternal, because he knows the severe lower condition we are. Like you just said, if he charges the angels falling filthy, then he's going to look at us like, you know what, man, look at these guys, man. These people are just, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that's why we have to go through Yahawashi as the brother of the statement, man. Because the Most High, his eyes are too pure to behold evil, man. You know what I'm saying? He even turned his face away from Yahawashi when he was on the cross, man. Because Yahawashi said, why hast thou forsaken me? Yeah. Because at that time, Yahawashi felt the presence of Yahawah left him, man. Because he felt that presence of Yahawah had left him. So he said, why hast thou forsaken me? Because at that moment in time, all the sins of Israel came onto him at that time. So Yahawashi, he was at his most filthiest state when he was on that cross. He was at his most filthiest, dirtiest estate, to the point where Yahawah couldn't look upon him. Because Yahawah, he's perfect. The Most High, he is the image of perfection.
And that's why
so he can't look upon something that's filthy like this. There's no what's this word I'm looking for? There's no comparison, man. You can't look upon something like that. You know what I mean?
And that's why Yahawashi felt the presence leaving.
Right. It had to depart, man. Because he's too perfect to come near something that's filthy. You know how the East Indians, they called Jake the Untouchables. There's a caste system in India where they look at Jake in India as being the Dalit.
Oh yeah.
If you go into it, Mahatma Gandhi even spoke about it once. He called the Dalit, it means broken people. The word Dalit means broken people. And the Indians said you can't even touch them so-called blacks or people down there, because they're looked at as being the dregs of society, the bottom. So that's how they looked at themselves as being perfect in comparison to Jake. You know what I'm saying? But that's how the Most High is with us. He said he turned his face away from us. Okay? He said that the Most High turned his face away from us because of our sins. That we became so filthy as a people. Our sins multiplied so much that the Most High's favor was withdrawn from us. The Most High can't dwell in sin. He can't mix with sin. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to pull away from that. The Most High pulled his favor, his grace, and his mercy away from us. And when that presence of the Most High left us as a people, that's when darkness covered us, man. To the point where we was at the mercy of the heathens round about us, man.
Yep.
The power of our power was no longer with us. Our strength was no longer with us. We wasn't even calling in his name. We were calling the name of other heathen gods, man. Other idols. And Samuel said that God, Yahawah, he is the strength of Israel. So we have no strength unless the name of Yahawah is there. You know what I'm saying? That's why do you think Judas Maccabeus and his brethren were so successful against the Greek forces, man? Because we trusted in the name of Yahawah, even though we was a small company, we were able to overcome such great masses of heathens, man. Because the name of Yahawah was with us. And his name is nowhere to be found but in Jacob, man.
So really the moral of the thing about it is that you have not the name, then there's no power.
There's no power, man. But keep on reading, because read that verse again about the angels.
Job 4 and 18, it says, behold, he put no trust in his servants and his angels. He charged with folly.
Imagine that, you don't even trust your own, you don't trust angels. Entities that you created to specifically perform your requirements, but yet you don't even trust them.
And they're not in the flesh.
And they're not even in the flesh. Yet these are immortal beings. God doesn't even trust immortal spirits, man. And it tells you about the angels how they love to do the work of the Lord as well. I think that's in Psalms 103.
It is excellent strength.
Yeah, get it. Where is it?
Psalm 103.
Yeah. Psalms 103, verse 20. Bless Yahawah, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word. Bless ye Yahawah, all ye his hosts. The word host means armies. So the angels are the armies, right? Ye ministers of his that do his pleasure. Okay? So the ministers or the spirits or the angels, they do the Lord's pleasure. Okay, and they do his commandments, hearkening to the voice of his word, and yet he doesn't even trust them.
It's like you, and even the angels, they pray or they bow down to the Most High day and night.
Day and night, begging for forgiveness.
Day and night.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what you call power, man. That's why
that's a higher level of highest uncomprehendable, man.
That's why we call them the Most High.
Yeah. Oh.
You got those angels that it says
That's it.
they continually throw their crowns down at the throne and say, holy, holy, holy.
Revelations
Lord
5.
power.
Yeah, get that. Someone get that.
You know, just 24/7, like just acknowledging the Most High.
Yeah.
See, it's like when you bow down for something, it's almost like you're begging them not to kill you, kind of like you're reverencing them, like like you're repetitive, like you know what I'm saying. You want mercy to be bestowed upon you, like you know what I'm saying.
Day and night.
You're at that person's mercy. You know when Esau had us in slavery, like hardcore slavery. I think what's the movie? It was Django. No, Django starring what's this guy, man? What's his name? Jamie Foxx, yeah. His wife, you know that black woman, that so-called black woman. I think she broke some eggs. The slave master was strapped her to the tree, innit?
Talking about the dark skin one, innit? He's like super dark skin.
Yeah. And he was gonna get the whip and start whipping her, yeah. And Jamie Foxx came over and started bowing down to his master, begging. Then the Edomite looked down and he said, "I like to see you beg, boy." I remember he said that if you watch that part of the movie. So that shows you when you bow down to somebody, you're at that person's mercy. That you're acknowledging that person's sovereignty over you, man.
Power, yeah.
So the Most High has complete sovereignty, but yet he doesn't even trust his own angels, man, that love to do his commandments. So basically, you got a cut eye at his own angels, man. Like he don't trust them. His perfect angels that he created to do that job, man. How much more us, man? Seeing as we're created in sin. Yeah. Get that.
It goes on. Verse 19, it says, how much less in them that dwell in houses of clay, whose foundation is in the dust, which are crushed before the moth. They are destroyed from morning to evening. They perish forever without any regarding it.
You hear that? So if the Most High, imagine us, man, and we're made in this corruptible, mortal bodies, man, where we always thinking evil. We got ask for forgiveness every second because we always thinking something evil. We get mucus sick, you know what I'm saying? Back problems. You saw me a second ago doing this sort of shit, man. My back and shit. How much more us that dwell in houses of clay, man? Do you understand what I'm saying? Subject to sin.
Like what Paul
but yet,
said.
man, be proud. You got certain guys in the world that are proud, man. I remember one time because I do Uber Eats, innit? I used to do Uber Eats. I stopped for a while because it got dead, but the hotspots are McDonald's. That's where you get the majority of the orders from McDonald's. Those are hotspots, McDonald's and KFC. I was at Camberwell Green because that was the place that I usually position myself at the entrance. I just jammed there and just waited to get an order. And I saw on tour Jake. I was just gonna ask him a question, innit? And
I saw the video out there.
yeah, and I just remember how he looked. He said, just "Wait 1 second." He just looked at me like I was dirty, bro. Cause I was in my work clothes. Cause I was shorter than him. You know, Jake, so they think that you're shorter than them. They think that who are you? Like, you know what I mean? And he was tall, and he had these other guys that were tall. So it's like I'm not part of the gang. So I'm short. Like he looked at me like I was a peasant, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, look down at me. I'm thinking this guy proud, man. I'm thinking we're both black, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. I hear a brother out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, have some, because I would listen to any brother, man. But this guy thought he was so, like, he looked down at me, like, I'm thinking, what the fuck? But I just said, boy, that's just how Jake is, innit? That's whatever, innit? But it just goes into what I was talking about, how much more, man, that's in play, man. And the pride that you see certain guys in the world have, man. Women and certain men, man, they've got this pride, Esau. You know what I'm saying? But it all goes to how great the Most High is, though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That we have to go to Yahawashi. We can't even go to the Most High. We can't even go to him because he's light years above us, man. You know what I'm saying? In terms of righteousness. We can't really come near it unto him that way. That's how far we've fallen from grace, man. Yeah, right. Go on.
This is Surah 43 from verse 26. By him the end of them have prosperous success, and by his word all things consist. We may speak much and yet come short. Wherefore in some of all he is, how shall we be able to magnify him? For he is great above all his works. See, the Lord is terrible and very great and marvelous in his power. When you glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as you can. For even yet will he far exceed. And when you exalt him, put forth all your strength and be not weary. For ye can never go far enough.
You know how you do that, though? By being diligent in the truth. Like it says in the book of Peter, it says, it was your time to, no, it's in the Apocrypha. It was in you to withdraw from the Most High.
To go astray.
Right, to go astray.
Right. Or seeking 10 times more.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. So read that again, man.
Baruch 4,
And then break it
4
down.
and 10.
Sirach 43 and from 26. By him the end of them have prosperous success, and by his word all things consist. And we know the word of the Lord is his son Yahawashi, all things. And it says, we may speak much and yet come short, wherefore in some he is all. Meaning that, like even now, we're explaining the beauty, the majesty, the height of the Most High, but our words still come short of his glory, man. And it says, how shall we be able to magnify him? For he is great above all his works. The Lord is terrible and very great and marvelous in his power. When you glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as you can, for even yet will he far exceed. So we can magnify the Lord to the best of our ability, but that's not even an accurate explanation of how great he is.
Yeah, you can't, bro.
And it says,
You'll never be enough, bro.
and when you exalt him, put forth all your strength and be not weary, for you can never go far enough.
Exactly. See what I'm
It's
saying?
infinite.
See what I'm saying? You can try to describe it, but the best way you can. You know, when we bring out these precepts, we try to visualize what we're reading and try to utter it into words, man. What we can see in our minds of how it being. You know, the Most High himself, man. When you go to the spirit world, imagine what you see in the spirit world, man. You see the Most High himself.
And spirits too.
Yeah, you see some next level of power, bro. You know what I mean? Like, all power on planet Earth comes from the Lord, man. You see armies, man. That's what I was going into. I was talking to you about brethren dwelling together in unity, and I was going into the armies, man. The Spartans, man. You see armies of people in all formation. You know how they march in that march that they do. And then like that roaring sound, man, the armies, man. That's power, man. You know what I mean? That all comes from the Most High. Okay? But I was reading the Psalms 118 and verse 12. They compassed me about like bees, they quenched as the fire of thorns, for in the name of Yahawah I will destroy them.
Yeah.
Thou hast thrust sore at me that I might fall.
Yeah.
But Yahawah helped me.
But Yahawah helped him. And that's David talking. David is showing you, because he's experienced the other nations coming up against him. And he's experienced overcoming them. Why? Because of simply the name of the Lord. So it's this. So again, we have to also keep that in mind, that in the name of the Lord, we're going to overcome the beast.
Right.
You understand? It's all because of his wisdom and understanding. That's why it says that the wisdom and understanding, such as what we have, shall be the what? The stability of thy time, and it is your strength of salvation. So we're going to be saved based on how he was saved. How King David was saved through those nations. We're going to be saved through Esau. That's why it says again, as I'm going to quote again, the scripture says, the Lord, when they come up against us as a flood, the Lord will lift up that standard. So that's going to be the Lord pretty much putting that power within us to overcome again. And there's going to be different variations of levels of how we're going to overcome. You're going to have certain brothers that are going to be put to death for this thing. Now, one may think, oh, he didn't overcome because he was pursued, he was put to death. No. You can overcome by death, like Yahawashi. He overcame the world or Satan by death.
Right.
So we're gonna overcome this man by death also. The remnant one of us, being mortals. And this is why also, as it says in Thessalonians, it says that the dead in Yahawashi shall rise first. Okay? Those of they that overcame death. That's why when you read Revelation the 20th chapter, John the Revelator said he saw them that sat upon thrones. Read that. Somebody get me that. I want to make that point. There's a point that he made, and I want to elaborate on that.
I've got a quick little precept, going into the martyrs.
Yeah?
I read it.
Okay, go on. I'll tell you what. Yeah, let him read that first, and then we'll continue on with that. The water.
It was good, man. Slack, yeah. Little,
Man, Jake.
they're grooving,
It's
they're
Revelation
grooving her up.
21.
It's like Revelations.
Yeah, whoever got it, they can read it. Actually, it's in verse 4. Read verse 4.
Revelation 20 and 4, it says, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them.
Yeah, so slow it down. Read that again.
And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them,
And they that sat upon them. Go on.
and judgment was given to them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for
And
the
he saw the
witness-
souls of them that were beheaded for the what? The witness.
for the witness of Yahawashi,
Yeah.
and for the word of Yahawah, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahawashi and Mashiach 1,000 years.
So those are the guys that are going to be sitting on thrones. That's basically it right there. Because they overcame, they got the victory. But again, I say, as we all say, you're going to get the victory through the name of the Lord. And that's what this whole entire life is all about. Was making the point that you Israelites out there, you're gonna continue to get baptized. You're gonna continue to get racially discriminated against and all of the above. Okay? But if you repent and return back to the Lord, I can stop all of this. That's why it says in the book of Kings that if all of our people came together and prayed to the east, he would have to hear our name and then basically act on what our prayers are. But then in itself, that's because what? The name of the Lord. We're cleaving unto the Lord. Well, obviously that's not going to happen because the Lord is still going to be elect. So once the elect are sealed with his name, as we just read in Revelations, things are going to happen anyway because he only needs the remnant to seal the deal. Okay? There's another precept, man. I think read what you got. I'm done with that.
This is Psalms 116 verse verse 15. Precious in the sight of Yahawah is the death of his saints.
Right, precious. Hey, that connects with Revelations, man.
You know, because I read that because you were talking about how certain brothers might have to die. Now, when you die, that's a sweet smelling savor unto the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? That you should count yourself like, wow, I'm actually being put to death, just like how Yahawashi was, man. That's the glory on that. Yeah. Thinking about the Peter, he was crucified upside down. Wasn't he?
Even with the normal sacrifices, that was all like pointing towards the Yahawashi sacrifice. Because as you said, it would be a sweet smelling savor unto the Lord, and they would add the incense to it and stuff like that. So the Lord took delight and pleasure in that burnt meat,
Yeah.
that blood.
You know what I mean? Because it's precious in the sight of Yahawah is the death of his saints.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That we're willing to give up our lives. That's the ultimate sign of faith, man. To die for it, man. That's how you know a man is really believes, man. When he's ready to give up his whole life for this, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you can come out here and prophesy and the control sign and the garments and the videos, but when your life is being threatened, man, are you ready to give up the life, to hold through to the end, man? You know what I mean? Because when shit gets real, that's when you see. You know? That's right. That's right, man. But we're gonna go to this Psalms 118, verse 13. Thou hast thrust sore at me that I might fall, but Yahawah helped me. Yahawah is my strength and song, and has become my salvation. The voice of rejoicing and salvation is in the tabernacles of the righteous. The right hand of Yahawah doeth valiantly.
And that's why when you read the book of Revelations, the 15th chapter, we're going to be rejoicing just the same way how David rejoiced. We're going to be rejoicing and singing that song. Somebody can get me that, Revelations 15.
Oh yeah, this is
Come on.
remember you must be delivered.
Revelation 15, starting at 1, it says, "And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of Yahawah. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire."
Yeah, so what John the Revelator is visualizing by the vision that he got, basically he saw we was going to see, Lord willing, with the elect, on how we're going to be in a chariot, and the chariot is going to have like a window beneath it, at the bottom of it, and we're going to look down and see America being put on fire by those missiles and the laser beams. So that's what John the Revelator is seeing, and that's how, when you read the book of Psalms 91, where it says we shall tread upon serpents and dragons,
Oh yeah.
that's what that goes into right there. Go on, bro.
"And them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of Yahawah,
Come on.
and they sing the song of Moses."
Right, and they sing the song of Moses, because we were in that, not we were, but what we are going to be, we're going to be in that state of rejoicing. Okay, going back to the book of Psalms, what you just had, brother. You continue on, and then we'll go back to that.
"And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of Yahawah, and the song of the Lamb,
And the song of the Lamb, go on.
saying, Great and marvelous are thy works, Lord power almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints."
Yeah, that's what we're going to be singing. So go back to what you have, brother. That connects right along with that.
Right. This is verse 15, Psalms 118, verse 15. "The voice of rejoicing and salvation is in the tabernacles of the righteous."
That's in Revelations, the 15th chapter. So rejoicing is going to be in the tabernacle of what? The righteous. And also the reason why we're also going to be rejoicing, because we know what's coming next.
Tabernacle of David.
Exactly. And I'm going to get to that topic later on, but I just want to finish this. You know, and then once we finish this, and I'll get to that. Go on, bro.
Right. "The right hand of the Lord doeth valiantly. The right hand of the Lord is exalted. The right hand of Yahawah doeth valiantly. I shall not die, but live and declare the works of the Lord. The Lord hath chastened me sore."
That's what he's doing to us. He's chastening us so. Just like how he did him. Go on.
"But he have not given me over unto death."
For he have not given us over to death. So as we're living our life right now, we're being chastened. As the scriptures say in the New Testament, he chasteneth and he rebuketh who he loves. Why? Because he wants us to be correct. He wants us to be perfect. You become perfect based on the trials and tribulation you go through. That's how you become a man of the Lord. All right? And that's how you become more masculine, is when you go through pain and then you come back out on the other side.
Wow.
It's the same thing when you're lifting weights. When you're lifting weights, you gotta lift weights until you can't lift them no more, and then you feel that pain on your arm. That's where the growth comes in. Same thing with any kind of sports you do. Boxing, you gotta put yourself in that state of mind where you just can't even do the work anymore. You can't box anymore. And then once you relax and you rest for a little bit, your body starts to grow stronger so that you can deal with that right, so you can be accustomed to it, so to speak. So this truth here is making us more sharp-minded, because back when we was in the world, or even when we first came into the truth, we was still simple. Because there's different levels, there's levels to everything in this life. So the Most High wants us to be perfect in the best way we can. Now we'll never reach that perfection because we're in the flesh. But the Most High wants us to be in our right, complete state of mind. That's why we go through the hell that we go through. Go on, brother. It's to keep us in order and to keep us humble as well. Go on, bro.
Verse 19. "Open to me the gates of righteousness. I will go into them, and I will praise Yahawah. This gate of the Lord, into which the righteous shall enter. I will praise thee, for thou hast heard me, and art become my salvation."
And art become my salvation. He has heard me. So when we put those prayers up and when we do the Lord's work and everything like that, the Lord hears what we're doing. And ultimately, through all of this that we're doing, it's going to lead to our salvation. Because the scripture says that we have to be what? Justified in our works. Okay? By thy works you are justified. So if somebody can get me that real quick. Because see, a guy can say he has faith, but he has no works. He has no works. So you have to show works.
Even Galatians
Come on. You have to show works to be justified yourself, to be justified in being saved. Okay? Because a man can say, oh, you know, all praise to the Most High and the Son, Yahawashi, Yahawashi, da 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 da. But where's the works? Because the actions, the Lord needs to see that. The Lord needs to see that you actually truly love Him if you putting in that work. Okay?
faith without works is dead, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in what is it? 1 John.
James 2 and
James
20.
2. Come on.
James 2 and 20. James 2 and 20.
Come on.
This is there's a load of meat on this. James 2 and
Yeah, we're not going to read all of it because I want to stay on Psalms.
James 2 and 17. Even so, faith, if it have not works, is dead. It's dead being alone.
Come on. Exactly. So if you have faith but you're not putting the faith to use by putting the work in, then it's dead. It's finished. Go on.
Yet a man say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show you my faith by my works.
Yeah.
Thou believest that there is one power. Thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble.
Right. Even the devil will also believe in trouble. Because guess what? Even the spiritual demon Satan, as he was going back to previously, they're angels too. He's an angel. The spiritual demon Satan is the son of the Most High and an angel. So if all of the angels are ministers to the Lord, then he's also a minister to the Lord.
Yep.
Okay? So there's no other entity that can resist the Most High's will. And what we're dealing with right here is a part of His will to happen, for all of us to come together, to unify and to be brethren, and to build on the brotherhood with this truth so that we can become the leaders of the next world. All right? So that's all I wanted on that. Yeah, going back to that, brother.
Right. So they say where's that? So right, verse 21, Psalms 118. I will praise thee, for thou hast heard me, and I'll become my salvation.
And I'll become my salvation. Again, put in that work. This is what you call praising the Most High, by doing this work. Go on, bro.
The stone which the builders refused has become their headstone.
That's
of the
Yahawashi.
corner.
That's Yahawashi.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you got people using that analogy for something else, but that's not, we can't use that for anything else other than Yahawashi. Because Yahawashi was rejected of his own. Okay? And his own received them not. So he became the head of what? Above and beyond all of Israel.
The world that needed not. The world that he created needed not.
Yeah, something like that. Come on. So when it's all said and done, he's going to be the head guy of the whole of Israel, which he's already been the head guy, because again, he was the begotten spirit that the Most High created. So the Lord had to bring him down so low so that he can prove that he is that guy. Okay, and that the Lord can also prove that, yeah, this is my son. Okay, so that's what the Lord's doing with us. The Lord is proving the point with us as well, to show and prove that, yeah, we're His elect. Because we're able to come to this truth, which is against the world. Because think about it, this world, and a lot of us don't really think about it, right? We live in a world that's full of sin. We live in a world where most people are influenced by sin, transgression, right? But yet and still, we're still able to maintain our integrity. Why? Because the Most High was the